Beautiful people. Hey, wanted to chat about beliefs and some things that have kind of helped me out over the last few years, and probably since the start of this year 2020, because I think everyone's been challenged by beliefs in so many different ways. And it's a cool thing. Look, this is something that I used to get really stuck on a lot, and been shown some different ways just recently, working with a couple of different people. My partner is one, and also another coach out of Bali. And being to that point of challenging our beliefs of whatever. I don't think it really matters what. It's anything, how you show up in life. Anything in and around, and it's true that. So for me, there would have been times in the past where I would have had this belief where I might have fired up over sort of stuff. I like getting passionate about life. Life enthuses me. And within that, there's going to be elements of up and down. There is. That's part of it. You can't always, I don't believe, you can't always be at that point of always being love, light, and rainbows, marshmallows. It just doesn't work that way. There has to be some. And I don't feel it's like more of that balance thing. I think it's more of keeping things at that point going. Let's say if you're going to work, whatever work is for you, and you're there for a period of time, and you've got, let's say, your partner and kids at home. But you know that if you're distracted by thinking about your partner and kids, it would be different if there's things going on. And in a case like that, it's probably even better not to go to work. But let's just say you're distracted by family stuff, partner stuff, kids stuff at home, whatever. And then that, being distracted by that, is then stopping you from then being fully engaged in what you're doing at work, because your attention needs to be on what you're doing at work. Equally, if you're at home and you need to be more engaged with your family, and you're not because you're worried about work stuff, it's the same thing. So I don't necessarily think that's a balance thing. I think that's more of a, whatever the word is, it's like right there. Harmony. It'll come back to me. But the whole thing with the beliefs, for me, that's really helped me in, especially since the start of this year, is challenging those beliefs, and then also realizing within me too that our beliefs aren't good, bad, right, wrong. They're none of that. As human beings, we want to label things to help us understand. And I think if we can get an understanding of that and just not have attachment to that, that's a good thing. For me, belief is one of those things like believing that I had to react a certain way when people would say things to me, and then challenging stuff within myself about possible beliefs I had around maybe issues I had with my dad, or old school teachers, or maybe male figures in the past that who were an authoritarian figure, who as a kid, through my perception, I created that belief, and then that belief stayed with me until, whenever I chose to be aware of it and then work through it. And that's the same with everything. It's like how we show up is going to be based on how we run our beliefs, and a whole bunch of other things. However, just in this moment, talking about beliefs. And the thing that's really, really helped me see through some stuff, I was doing some things before. Those of you know that I've got a van because I love my mountain biking. So I'm most of the way through getting that decked out the way I want to create it on the inside. So I had a chat to the motor trimmers before, and it's given me a really sweet price to do the floor. I'm like, oh dude, just book it in, man, that's awesome. Cheaper than I could do with my time buying the products and the tools that I need to actually do it. I'm like, I don't, they can do it in half a day. It would take me probably a day and a half to do it. It's not that I don't have the skill, I just don't do it every day. And it's not that I don't believe in myself. So, so I'm going to get that done. So I felt something come up before in regards to paying for this. And I thought in the past I would have just freaked the fuck out going, oh my God, all this fucking money bullshit I'm running. But the good thing about what came up is I was able to just go, recognized it, basically spoke to it. I'm going to do a meditation a little while after this video and just clear that. But I'm actually excited about that, because I'm going, cool, there's probably going to be something that'll actually help me step up as Pete within that and be a slightly better version of myself in the next moment when I'm working through that. And So my beliefs around now that I have working through that are getting stronger on that foundational level, that I actually have the skills and the tools to work through that stuff. Will there be times where I need to go and check in with other coaches or other people or other friends and just work through some stuff and talk some stuff out? Yeah, that's freaking life. That's what's going to happen. The stuff that's probably deeper and maybe a little bit more tricky for me to work through, I'll probably then go and chat to the coaches and stuff and just help me shift that stuff, the things that I might not be able to see, because I might believe something about myself in some moment, and that's actually impeding me and my growth and actually stepping into that next version of myself to basically take a step up in me, my life, and how I show up. So beliefs, there's going to lots of our beliefs have been challenged around stuff that's global at the moment, and I think that's a good thing, because for me, I also believe this is a big global awakening for people. I believe there's some stuff that's happened on the planet that now needs to change, because it's been in play for a long time, and I'm not just talking just like the last few years. I'm just talking hundreds of years, going back probably even thousands of years, going by what we think we may know from history. But even then, I don't know anyone that's been around 1,000 years. There might be immortals walking around on the planet. I don't know. I may have met them. I don't know. Anyway, another video. So for me, belief is one of those things, is really just challenging my beliefs, and equally, this is the big thing for me, challenging my beliefs to the point, okay, I'm not giving myself a hard time, challenging those beliefs and kind of going, I want to sit in it. I want to feel what I'm feeling about it. I want to see where it's sitting in my body. And I want to be okay with just going, just love on it. It's okay. Heal it. Let it go, move through it. And understand that's part of the growth. We have to have that thing of doing the internal work. You work on yourself internally, everything external to you will change. It's how it goes. It's a little bit like, this probably helped me get a bit of an understanding about it slightly better not so long ago. It's like, for me, it would be like standing on the bow of a ship, and you're seeing the little bow wave at the front. So where the front of the ship hits the water and displaces it and pushes it forward, so the splash effect from that and the ripple effect from that, by the time the front of the boat's got to where that furthest splash point was from the water droplets, the next part has already moved through. So by the time you actually get to where you are, that's already at a level in the past from when it originally happened. So for how we project out what we perceive about our life, and that's through perceptions, usually through these guys here, they're the main ones. It's just perception, and again, our perception is going to be done through our filters. If I put on some reading glasses and I can see myself super clear, as opposed to not as clear that way, or a pair of sunglasses, or whatever, safety glasses, or really dark welding glasses, that's just going to give me a viewpoint of what I'm looking at. And perspectives and beliefs give us that sort of thing as well. So if you're willing to actually start honing in on some of your beliefs and challenging your beliefs, and equally look with what's happening on the planet at the moment. And this is not about shaming anybody, because it's not about that. I think we'll get through this if people start coming from that place, that true place of love and acceptance, and going, okay, well, we get to choose how we want to show up, again, through our beliefs. So if you believe that you're only, a plumber, a dentist, you're none of those things. That's just a job or a role that you're doing in that moment. That's not who you are. You're not your tools. Equally, those tools help you, and your belief around how you handle those tools are going to help you show up better as who you're serving in that moment. And equally, if you believe that you're worthy of having good clients or shitty clients, if you're running stuff around that you're not that good enough, that's going to get projected out there. And this is all around belief systems. So if we're at that point where we're willing to challenge your beliefs, I know for me, this has made a big difference, and certainly in the last 6 months. But working on my beliefs through that point of, I want to be a better version of myself. I can see that I've been doing things a certain way up until that point, and they were getting me these X results, and I wasn't happy with these results. And then choosing to dissect and deconstruct those beliefs. Once I became aware of them, you have to do a little bit of digging sometimes. Sometimes it's going to be obvious, and sometimes you got to do a bit of digging to find those beliefs. And it does make a difference. So if you believe that you'll get through it, you'll get through it. If you believe that you won't, you won't. Look, you're right and wrong in both circumstances. It's not about judging yourself or not giving yourself a hard time or shaming yourself or anybody else. You know, we're on these journeys solely on our own, equally interdependently with everybody else on the planet. It just is that way. Anyway, challenge some of your beliefs that you're going through at the moment and see if that, challenge your beliefs from a place of loving on yourself, loving the belief that you had, because it's not wrong, not right. Remembering it's just a perspective that you've picked up along your journey through whatever. There will be reasons behind it, and it doesn't really matter what the reasons are at a level. If you're willing to work on those beliefs and challenging them and then deconstruct and then reinstall new beliefs, it's no different from uploading stuff in our phones or our smart devices or computers. It's just software in the background. You can disengage it and reinstall new stuff. Just go and follow anything about NLP or neuro-linguistic programming or neuroassociative conditioning or most psychological things, and just challenge yourself and just be kind to yourself. More self-love, more kindness, more awareness to self, and then you naturally want to just go and project that stuff out to other people and life, nature, animals, people, all of it. But start with number one. Start with challenging yourself. I know for me that's a big thing that has made a very, very impactful difference in my life, and especially in the last 12 months, and more so since the start of the year. All right, people, be great. You've got to be great at just being yourself. Everyone else is taken. I don't know who made that saying up. It's a good one though, and I'm using it. All right.